invite you to relax into this sacred time and sacred space that you have created for yourself. I invite you to fully immerse yourself in this radical act of self-love, to step into your power, to become your own healer, your own shaman. So make yourself comfortable. Take a few deep breaths to prepare yourself for the journey ahead. And dive into this deep medicine of the imagination. Closing your eyes and bringing your awareness into the here and now, into this time and into this place. Into your body and into your breath. Because this is time for you. It's time to be, time to rest, relax, release, and recharge. Okay, starting with a nice big deep breath and just sinking into the journeying space. A little bit of eye twitching. Who would like to come forward first at this time? Okay, I have my big green dragon. This is Mother Earth. This is Gaia. Big deep breath to confirm that. Hello Gaia, what do you have for us today? How have you come to help in this situation? Okay, so Gaia is shedding her tears. The big green earth dragon is crying beautiful white, shining tears of light. And these tears are soul parts. These tears are soul parts of yours that you have lost over time. Could be in this lifetime, could be in previous lifetimes. Big deep breath. And these are the soul parts that you lost, which have stayed on the earth plane, on Mother Earth herself. And when humans lose soul parts and they stay on the earth plane, because they don't have to stay on the earth plane, they can go to all sorts of different places, soul parts can, but many of them stay on the earth plane. And when this happens, Mother Earth looks after them. Gaia protects them. And like a dragon who is guarding the most precious treasure, she looks after them, and she takes them into herself to actually protect these soul parts of yours until such time as you ask for them back. And so at this time I ask for you, Mother Earth, beautiful big green earth dragon, please release any and all soul parts that are ready to go back to their rightful place, back to where they belong. And you know, when we have what I call soul holes, holes where bits of soul should be but aren't, when we have experienced soul loss, which can be from trauma, injury, abuse, violence, accidents, any form of physical harm or damage to our bodies, times of great sadness or grief, losing loved ones. These are all situations where we can lose soul parts. Soul theft as well, people can take soul parts from us, steal soul parts. And this creates a hole in our energy field, and these holes then allow things in that shouldn't be there. It's like having a great big gaping wound. If you've, sliced yourself open, you need to stitch that wound up, right? Otherwise, you can get all sorts of bugs and bacteria and horrible lurgy things getting in, which can then fester and cause problems. So the same thing applies with energy. And so when we lose soul parts, things can come in which shouldn't be there. And so in restoring soul parts to yourself, in having soul parts returned to you, you fill these holes. It strengthens your energy field. It makes you soul whole, as I like to say. Yeah, you become more and more a whole person. The more soul parts you get back, the more whole you become. And the more you regain and reclaim your own gifts and talents and skills. Okay, big deep breath there. So, this is very much about restoring your personal power, which is yours and yours alone. Your soul energy is yours. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of blue energy floating around now, and blue energy is always energy that needs to be cleared. It is unhelpful, negative energy, and so I'm asking for this energy to be cleared now. Who would like to come and do this clearing? Which of my allies is going to come to do this clearing of unhelpful blue energy? Who's going to come and clear this energy? Doesn't feel like this is helpful energy in the slightest. Right, I can see another eye now. Whose eye is this? I can see another eye in the middle of the energy, the blue energy. Whose eye is this that I am seeing? It's kind of fluctuating between looking like all three eyes that I see, which is the eye of the earth dragon, who is Gaia, the eye of Isis, goddess Isis, and also the eye of the Cabal, the eye of the pyramid, the evil eye, shall we call it. This eye has been floating around in all of these different aspects. Big deep breath. Okay, so feels like this is a bit of all of the eyes, really. The eye of the dark elite, the eye of the goddess who seeks to heal the effects of the patriarchal and male violence, and the eye of the earth. And there's a lot of blue energy around this whole situation. So really, I think that's kind of a bit of an explanation as to what this blue energy is, why it's there, what it's being caused by. So there's the blue around the eye of the dragon is unhelpful negative energy around the earth herself. The eye of the Cabal, the eye of the dark elite, the eye of the evil eye, is probably what's part and parcel of creating this negative energy, and it is in the middle of what I can see. And then the eye of Isis, she seeks to heal all of this. So we've got this connection between the three eyes. This is very interesting. I've never seen this connection between the three eyes before. The eye of Isis, the eye of the evil eye, and the eye of the earth. And it feels like there is a tangle between them, that their agendas are conflicting or entwined, and there are definitely very different intentions going on between all three of these eyes. Okay, so what needs to happen here then, allies? I understand we need to clear the blue energy, which is kind of still floating around a bit, but is there anything else that needs to happen first? What needs to happen first? Okay, so I can see dark wings coming in, the dark wings of one of my allies, who is Archangel Ezekiel. Archangel Ezekiel is the angel of death, and Ezekiel helps the spirits of the deceased from the earth plane to cross over to the light. And so, you know, it's worth mentioning here that for a good few thousand years, the spirits of the dead have not been seen to properly. They have not been assisted to cross over. You know, when human beings die, if they have had lives where they are not at peace with what happened in their life, that could be because of unresolved business that happened within their life, that could be because of how they died, that could be because of systems of injustice or oppression that they lived under. If a person dies and they're not at peace with themselves or their life, then there is a good chance that they will not cross over to the light, because they need to resolve the business on earth that was unresolved when they died. This is what needs to happen. And so what has built up over many, many, many years, since humans were looking after the dead, which to be fair is probably mostly indigenous times, and there are still places on the planet where this still happens, mostly with indigenous people who still observe the spiritual rites of the dead. However, for most, okay, I'm getting shivers up and down my legs now, we're getting definitely onto the right path here. So, but for many, many cultures in Western, certainly in the West, and in some institutional religions, you know, the dead are not looked after when they die. We have lost the skills and ability to do that, and you know, there's many reasons why that has happened. However, it remains that we have a build-up of dead folk milling about on the earth plane. And it's also worth pointing out that some people are like lights, are like flames for moths, yeah, or lights to moths. The dead will be attracted to some people. Some humans who walk on this earth will attract the spirits of the dead to them, because the spirits of the dead mostly think that you can help them, okay? If you are aware of spirits, if you acknowledge the presence of spirits, or if you are particularly psychically aware and can sense their presence in some way, they will be able to tell that. It's like you've got a big red flashing neon sign on your head saying, "Ghosts, come here, I can help you." Now, even if you don't know how to do that on a conscious level, there's a very good chance that you may once have done that in a previous lifetime, or that the level of your awareness is such that they think that you can help them. And maybe you can, because if you are connected with people who do have these skills, then the ghosts seem to be able to tell this as well. And you know, there are, okay, so this is also very relevant, I think. Any people that seek to help living humans on this earth send out a vibrational message from their energy field saying, "I just want to help. I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you. If you need help, come to me." Okay? So anybody that's in any kind of caring profession, training to be in a caring profession, anybody who is in any kind of role within their life where they seek to help others And that can be across all sorts of different levels, whether it's social work or complementary medicine or teaching, or, you know, there's loads of different career paths where people seek to help. If you are sending out the message from your energy field, I wish to help you, what you need to realize is that not only the living will hear that, but the dead will pick up on that as well. And this can be like a magnet for deceased human beings, the spirits of dead human beings who are still roaming this earth, waiting for help, basically, waiting for help, for somebody to assist them to cross over. Now, sometimes they need help resolving unfinished business before they're happy to cross over. Sometimes they need to have their own soul energy restored. Okay? Sometimes they need to... okay, so I'm being told that this is where we need to go next. Big deep breath. All right, so we started with Gaia, didn't we? We started with the Earth Dragon shedding tears of soul parts, and we've come round to the issue of spirits of the deceased. And so now really I can see the direction that this transmission is going in now. We're going to be doing what's basically psychopomp work, spirit clearing work, also known as shamanic depossession. And this is the removal of spirit beings, deceased humans often, from the human energy field and helping them to cross over and pass over. Okay, so this is a combinational effort between Mother Earth, who is probably holding a huge amount of soul parts for these deceased humans, these ghosts, ghost ancestors, and Archangel Ezekiel, who is standing by. Right, I'm getting little twitches in my left hand now. Yeah, Archangel Ezekiel is standing by to assist these ghost ancestors to cross over once they have received their soul parts back. So this is what we're doing now. And so I call to all of those ghost ancestors who are listening to this, who can hear me now. Sacred ones, deceased ones, you may not realize that you have died. You may not realize that you are now in spirit form. But I address you, all of you who have let go of your physical bodies. I ask you to consider this. Do you remember your physical body? What was your physical body like? And look down at the body that you now find yourself in and ask yourself, is this my body? If it is not your body, then I ask you to consider this. You are now currently inhabiting somebody else's body, and this is not helpful for you or for them. You need help to go to where you need to be, and I can help you with that. And the person whose body you find yourself in is going to be adversely affected by your presence within them. It's not going to be helpful for them. And so I wish to offer you at this time several forms of assistance. The first is to help you to restore your power, your soul force, the soul force that you lost when you were alive on this earth in your last body, and in fact any body that you've ever incarnated into. And if you'd like to receive these soul parts back, all you have to do is say yes. All you have to do is be open to receiving them back. And so I call to Mother Earth at this time, Gaia, Gaia, Gaia. I ask you to restore any and all soul parts back to any and all deceased humans, ghost ancestors who find themselves in the bodies of those listening to this transmission. Soul parts that may have been lost across any time and any space, any lifetime and any dimension, if you, Gaia, are holding those soul parts, I ask you to restore and return them to these ghost ancestors so that they can be at peace. Okay, big deep breath and shivers down my legs. And as these soul parts are restored and returned to these ghost ancestors who find themselves dwelling in the body of the listener, I now offer you this invitation to cross over, to go to where you need to be. And you may have different ideas about where this is. It may be heaven, it may be the light, it may be the earth, it may be a beautiful place like the Summerlands. Wherever it is that you feel you should be going, or you want to be going, more to the point, wherever you feel like you want to be going after death, my ally, Archangel Ezekiel, will take you there. And so to those listening to the transmission, those humans who are still alive in their bodies, I ask you now to make your physical body and your energy body nice and fluid and liquidy and watery, and this will help the spirits who may be dwelling within you to leave. And at this time, spirits of the deceased ghost ancestors who find themselves in the body of the listener, it is time now for you to cross over. It is time now for you to go back to source, back home. And from there you can be healed. And from there you can choose what you do next. You can choose to stay with your creator. You can choose to incarnate back into another body if you would wish to. You can choose to stay in the realm of spirit and learn some lessons, or take on some other roles or jobs in that realm. There are options that you can take, but while you are stuck in the body of another living human, you are trapped and you are stuck, and you cannot continue your own soul journey as a soul while you are there. And so please, please take up this invitation, take up this offer of help. Big deep breath, more shivers down my legs. Spirits of the deceased, ghost ancestors, when you cross over, you will become a luminous ancestor, and from this place you can come back to earth and help those that you love if you wish to. You can come back and be a guide. You can come back and be a helping ancestor. Or you can take on a role to help in other ways as a spirit guide for others. And so I invite you to take this opportunity to cross over now, back to source, returning home, back to your maker, back to your creator. So as the ghost ancestors depart with Archangel Ezekiel, as they cross over back to source, it's worth mentioning that when we have spirits attached to us, when we host them, when we harbour them, when we give them space in our bodies, we can take on the physical ailments of those spirits, from when they were living human beings in their own bodies. If they had illnesses or injuries, we can feel that in our own bodies because we harbour their spirit. We harbour their energy, which holds the pattern of their body's dis-eases or ailments or injuries. And we can also end up manifesting or experiencing their emotional and mental patterns as well. So really it's not very helpful for us if we are like lighthouses to the dead, which, to be fair, if you're listening to this, you probably are, because anybody listening to this transmission is probably going to be already quite spiritually aware and conscious, and this is what attracts the dead, because they think that you can help them. And you can. By listening to this transmission, you can help them, okay? And so they will be attracted to you, very likely, very probably. And so you may have to do regular spirit clearing work, okay? Especially if you find yourself particularly affected by either a very unusual ailment that is not normally yours and you don't generally experience, or sometimes you can get a recurring ailment that is because certain parts of your energy field can be weak spots. So for example, my throat is a weak spot for me, and so certain areas of your energy field can be weak spots, and this can be where spirits can get in and take up residence, okay? And so doing regular spirit clearing, regular depossession work is really, really helpful for people who are lighthouses for the ghost ancestors. And the other thing that needs to be done in these situations is to call for a body protector, okay? So this is a spiritual ally who can be there to protect your energy field, to stop the ghost ancestors jumping into you at any given available opportunity. Okay, I'm being reminded to also mention that we can pick up spirits from other people as well, okay? Because let's say you have been hanging out with your friend and your friend is harbouring a ghost or two, and if those ghosts think that they have more chance of getting help from you than the person that they're currently with, then they'll jump ship, okay? They'll jump ship and they'll jump into you, which is why so often, again, people who are drawn into the healing and caring professions can end up absolutely laden with ghost ancestors, because these ghost ancestors are seeing and hearing and sensing your frequency transmission, which is saying, I can help you, I can help you, I can help you. Okay, so they jump ship because they think you can help them, and on some level you probably can. You just may not realize it at the time. But you know, this is very much what this transmission is about, is educating you in understanding how spirit possession can happen, why spirit possession can happen, and what to do about it. Lots of shivers down my legs at this point. Okay, so yeah, this is the theme of our transmission today. Spiritual hygiene really is what we're talking about. Spiritual hygiene. And it's very much about taking things on from other people. But this is not about their thought forms, this is not about their emotional energy, this is not about their mental energy, this is about the spirits that they have been carrying who have jumped ship to you. So this is really not the fault of people that you may have been mixing with, other than they may, you know, be doing things or going places which are, shall we say, magnets for spirits as well. So let's have a little talk about that, because there are certain activities and certain places which are more likely to result in spirit possession. And so firstly, places are hospitals, because lots of people die there. So there are loads of spirits roaming the corridors and the wards, just waiting to take up residence in somebody else who's still in the hospital, and that's staff and patients. And a lot of spirits will be attracted to those people who actually they resonate with on some level, who are living people who are a bit like them. So very often you find spirits who are attracted to people who either have got the same kind of habits, or the same kind of thought patterns, or the same kind of emotional patterns. And this leads us to our second place where a lot of spirits can be picked up from, and that's pubs or other places where people get heavily intoxicated, such as drug dens, and houses where lots of drugs get taken. And equally this applies to hospitals as well, actually, because a lot of pharmaceutical drugs get taken there, and some pharmaceutical drugs really open the doors to spirit possession. So any kind of drug which really knocks you unconscious or opens up your energy field, removing the normal kind of safety barriers that your energy field generally has, opens you up to potential spirit possession. And so being in places where there is a lot of drug use, both orthodox drug use as well as unorthodox drug use, and I include alcohol in that, so pubs and clubs and lots of drinking of alcohol anyway. And certain drugs are particularly bad for it, things like ketamine, really just fling open the doors to not only deceased humans but all sorts of spirits from other dimensions to flood in. And so these are kind of the situations where there may well be a lot of a higher level, a higher probability of spirit possession. I mean, the classic is graveyards, isn't it? And that's because crematoriums, because a lot of spirits of the deceased will go to their own funerals. They may have gone to the funeral with a member of their family who was with them when they died, for example, or they will be attracted to their funeral because basically the people who go to the funeral are on an emotional level calling them, and so they will be psychically drawn to their own funeral. So this can be another place where spirit possessions can happen. So if we are mixing with people that are in any of those situations, then we increase the, shall we call it, contamination vector of cross-contamination of spirits jumping ship into us from people who have a higher risk level of spirit possession. And if we are lighthouses for the dead, then you're going to end up attracting a lot of spirits if you are hanging out with people or going to the places where there are a lot of deceased humans. So this may help you to understand how the mechanisms of how these spirit infestations happen, which can then help you to really defend yourself against this happening in a stronger and a better way. So, leading on to the next issue, which is calling for a body protector. Okay, body protector allies are those benevolent spirit beings who are here to help and protect us, who can basically shield you from spirits jumping into you. Okay, and again, it's really worth doing this, calling for your body protector to step into your body or shield your body. Some body protectors will step right into you, and some will simply shield you, but this is on a temporary basis. It is not permanent. It's not like spirit possession of deceased humans, because once they step into you, they generally stay there for the most part, unless they see a better opportunity and they want to jump ship. But your body protectors are not going to take up permanent residence within you. They are just going to protect you for the period of time that you need protecting for, and then they will step out again when that risk has passed. Okay, so I'm going to call upon my body protector to come for you, but I would really suggest and recommend that you call for your own body protector to come. Okay, and you know, here we are entering into me encouraging you to do a bit of your own shamanic work, starting to call your own allies in, because really this is very powerful work if you start working for yourself and learning how to do this type of work for yourself. So my intention is to call for a body protector ally. My intention is to call for a body protector ally. My intention is to call for a body protector ally to protect against spirit possession when there are spirits close or nearby who may be seeking to inhabit this body. Okay, so my eyes have started to twitch now. Getting really twitchy eyes. And I can see my ally. My ally is one of my body protector allies is Triceratops. And Triceratops comes to protect me from both spirits of the deceased as well as other types of spirits. And these can be malevolent or mischievous spirits. These can be spirits that have no bad intention but simply find themselves in the wrong place. We might call these lost souls or wandering souls who are lost, confused, or in the wrong place. Sometimes we refer to these spirits as suffering beings. And you know, there are all sorts of spirits that can find themselves in the wrong places. Yes, spirits of the deceased is one, but actually there are spirits of nature who can find themselves in the wrong places, spirits of animals, spirits of trees and plants, spirits of rocks and power places on the earth, mountains, rivers, things like that. Spirits of the sea. I've removed also all of those spirits from people in depossession work with my clients. And then there are spirits from that are not from our planet, so extraterrestrial spirits or non-human spirits from other dimensions. There are all sorts of spirits who can end up in our bodies, either intentionally or unintentionally, either because they are lost and they are looking for safe harbour, or because they are seeking to be parasites and drain us of our energy and feed off our negative emotions. So there are lots of different types of spirits out there who can take up residence in your body, and Triceratops is the ally who comes to protect from all of these different types of spirits. And I encourage you to call upon your own ally as well, because you will have an ally who protects you, and it may not come in the form of a Triceratops, it may come in the form of something else. So it's definitely worth calling. Okay, I can feel twitches in my legs now. Little, not the shivers that I get often, but more like little funny twitches. And so I call upon Triceratops to come as an ally for the listener to protect and shield from any and all possible spirit incursions. Okay, is there anything else that we need to be doing today, please? Any other work for today? Any other allies who wish to come? Any other messages? No, we are finished. Okay. So I wish to give thanks to all of those who have come and helped us in this healing work today. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the healing. And now taking a few deep breaths. Coming back into this time and back into this place. Back into your body and back into your breath. Giving your fingers a little wiggle. Giving your toes a little wiggle. And stretching yourself out to return to the here and now. And I look forward to taking another soul journey with you soon. Lots of love, Joanna Joy.